September 2024 video update. So, been a busy month. Been a very busy month. I can't believe it's almost October. But what's happened here? This morning, there was a Dory here. Now there's not. We launched it today for our Math on the River program. So several classes from Amesbury High School come in for a Math on the River program, which involves rowing in the dories, but also using sextants to take angles that the kids can then take back to school and learn applied math and trig. So that's a program now that's been going on for more than a decade. And the kids look forward to it every year. And we needed this boat, which was kind of a committee-built boat. Started with some middle school kids many years ago with the bottom, and then our apprentices did the lion's share, and then I took it up to Wooden Boat School with me, did some up there, and we just finished it off this week and got it in the water today for this program. So it's out there, a nice, bright, shiny new Dory. Another new feature here, we have one of these, U.S. Army cannon heater. This is a number 20. Beautiful stove. These things are amazing and they work really well in here. And we had one, and I found another one on Facebook Marketplace that was reasonably priced, and it is beautiful. So I was able to purchase that. So now we have two. We can get this guy's going to a new home. This is a late 70s model stove, and this thing, it worked great, but it took a lot of wood to make it hot. This guy here, not so much. This here is a garboard plank for the shallop in the other room. We steam bent the forward half on this morning, and we'll steam this on tomorrow, but a beautiful piece of wood. You can see it's quarter-sawn. Do you know how you can tell? These rays here, they've got some special name that escapes my mind currently, but when you see this kind of pattern in the oak, it means it's quarter-sawn. And what does quarter-sawn mean? It means the grain, if you look at the end down here, which has not been cut clean for us to see. If you look at the end down here, which, let's hope, yeah, okay. Good look at the grain. It's running right across the plank, just like this. It's a little round up in there, but most of it is right across. That's called vertical grain. And that makes it very stable. It won't warp. So, I mean, would it that we could always work with vertical grain? Not so, but it is, it's a nice piece of wood, and what that means is that it's likely to bend into place and not do anything funky on us, which is nice. It's a beautiful thing. So here we have some stock for some oars. What's going to happen here next this winter? We've got a 16-foot Amesbury skiff that we're going to start building right here. We've actually already begun. We've got some pieces going, and I'll show you that in a moment. Over here we're going to build an 18-foot bank dory, but sort of a modern take on it. And I say a modern take, we're going to build that, and you'll see it come together. We're going to build it with a glued plywood. The owner wants a lightweight, low-maintenance dory, for mostly concerned about rowing, not necessarily concerned about the traditional nature of it. So we're going to incorporate some modern methods. And then over here we're going to build our typical sort of hybrid 15-foot dory with a fiberglass bottom and garboard with a traditional boat above. We're going to do that here. We're getting all those going. Here, don't dare touch it. Looks like it's probably wet. This is the interior seating for the Haven 12.5, which is getting close. One of our boat builders has been pecking away at the punch list on that. And that boat is nearly done and is available. So getting a little late this year for someone to want a 12.5, but get your orders in next year, folks, because we have a nice, shiny new 12.5 if you're looking for one. This thing here that looks a bit of a mess, it isn't, is the transom to be for that Amesbury skiff. So it's 6 feet wide, and we did have some, I don't say some trouble, but we were trying to figure out how to utilize this piece of wood to its maximum, and this little defect here was right in the way. So what we ended up doing was putting it in the top, in the middle, and this boat gets a scoop out for the motor, and so all that defect is going to go away when we scoop that out. So see you later, alligator. Coming in here, what have we got? Got our nice shiny Haven, all taped up. It's not going to look that great all taped up, but when the tape comes off, she's going to look like $1 million, or at least 25 to 30,000 bucks. This guy here also looking pretty varnishy, so we started trying to build up varnish coats on the shallop here, and traditionally this boat probably would have just been oiled and that would have been it, but it's nice to see the workmanship and all that with the varnish on this. And we bent this plank on today, hence all these clamps. And so it's pretty hard to get a 1 inch, it's got to be 1 inch, maybe a little heavier than that, 1 inch oak plank, perfect, just right to fit in that rabbit the first time. So what we end up doing is steaming it to get the shape, and we'll leave this. This will stay overnight, cool off, take the shape. Then we can pull it off, fine tune the fit, get it back on and fasten it. So this actually took 2 attempts at steaming because we couldn't quite figure out how to clamp this thing, and it's a bit of a to-do to get clamps through here, try to find a purchase, get everything clamped up, and that's what we were up against there. So the first time we didn't get it done quickly enough and it started to cool too fast, so we threw it right back in the steam box, got it up to temp, and second time was a charm. So we'll spend tomorrow while the other one's cooking, we can work on getting this fitted and try to get it in. So what else here?
Is there any harm in putting a piece of wood back into a steam box?
The question on the table is there any harm in putting a piece of wood back into a steam box after you've already steamed it? And it's probably a many-layered question. I don't believe so unless you cook it so much that you dry it out too much that it won't bend at all. And so steaming, some people think, puts moisture into the wood, which it does not. It dries it out. It is a way of heating up the wood without burning it and drying it out. And so that is the benefit of steaming. Boiling is preferable, but for a plank that big, you can't really boil it, so steam's your only option. But for traditional stuff like this, what Harold Burnham taught me to do was to oil the plank, make the plank, oil it, and then steam it. And the oil kind of keeps the moisture in the plank, and the heat drives the oil into the plank, which is a great idea. He's that man is full of really useful, practical knowledge. And so, but in this case, the plank was still warm, and we could just throw it right in, and we didn't have to cook for as long to get back up to temp. I would not. I mean, we had to do the other one a couple of times too. So I think only if you're starting to get dry, or worse yet, if you're cooking the plank so long that the wood fibers are compromised, then yes, it's a bad idea. If it is just that the plank didn't get hot enough the first time, or you ran out of time like we did, then I would say no. But of course, I am one school of thought, and if you ask another boat builder, you get another answer. So we should start asking other boat builders. Next time what you'll see is a boat bottom coming together with some frames and transom and all that kind of stuff, and upcoming events. So what do we love to do here but have parties? And several things coming up here in the month of October. I got my little cheat sheet because I'm getting old. But on the 16th of October, we have the New England Ice Boat Group coming. So it's a group of guys that build and sail and race their ice boats. We tried to do this last year, but we got a rain delay, we got a weather delay, and so it got delayed till this year. But they're going to come here to the shop, bring some of their boats, get them set up, and give a little presentation on their ice boats. So that's October 16th. Check the website out. Then our annual meeting is October 23rd. What is our annual meeting? Well, for a nonprofit organization like this, it is a law that we have to have one every year for our membership, for a member organization. But what it is really is a good way for our membership to come into the shop, see what we're doing in person. What we'll do is we'll have a little business meeting where you can learn about the finances of the organization and what happened this past year and what our vision is for the next year. And then I believe that I am on tap to do a little presentation about my trip to the Arctic for the annual meeting. So I'll probably do a little yip yap about that. And then the 26th, that following Saturday after the annual meeting, we have our fall haul and Mighty Merrimack rowing race. So out here, that's pretty late for us. It might actually be a fall haul that day. But we have a number of boats come and race on the river that day, and then we have a cookout outside, burgers, beers, music. So a pretty good time. Maybe some craft apple cider. We'll see if we can convince Annie here to bring us some cider. And then upcoming classes, we have a build your own Plymouth rocker, which is if you have a young person in your life, maybe a grandchild. This is a little boat-shaped rocker kid can play on, shaped like a Dory. And then a make your own toolbox with John Harvey, our very own boat builder here, John Harvey. He's a very patient man, very good instructor, and he can teach you how to make a toolbox. So that's a great class for someone who's a beginner who really maybe has no experience whatsoever, but really wants to learn woodworking, get it on the ground floor. That'd be a good class for you. And then, of course, what would a year be without our annual holiday open house? And so that's coming up the first weekend of December. I believe this is 6th and 7th, 7th and 8th, 6th, 7th and 8th. You'll hear about it.
It will be right here.
It'll be right here. You read it right on the screen. Holiday open house, Lowell's holiday open house, December. You can come get your trees here. Get your. We'll have trees right after Thanksgiving, the good Lord willing, and get all your holiday needs met right here in the first weekend in December. So that is what is coming up, and it's an empty shop right now, but we're gonna fill it right back up. So that's that. Are we recording without telling me again?
No?
Oh, okay.
Yes.